Hi, my name is Damian Schiff and I'm an attorney with Pacific Legal Foundation. Last week, PLF filed a petition with the National Marine Fisheries Service asking that the government delist from the Endangered Species Act the southern resident population of killer whales. PLF filed this petition on behalf of farmers in the Central Valley because for the last 3 years, water cutbacks have been imposed upon farmers in towns in California Central Valley, in part because of Endangered Species Act protections afforded the killer whale. Now, the basis of PLF's petition is both legal and scientific. On the legal side, we argue that the Endangered Species Act does not authorize the federal government to cherry-pick populations and to say that we should list a population even though the rest of the same species is doing just fine. Now, on the scientific side, we argue that the subspecies designation on which the killer whale listing is based is completely bogus. That prior to the listing in 2005, no other independent scientific organization or scientist believed that the killer whale was anything less than one single species that resides throughout the world's oceans. But the government said that no, it was going to define what it called an unnamed subspecies that lives in the Pacific Northwest and then list a small portion of that subspecies under the Endangered Species Act. This is not sound science, and so our petition argues that there is no meaningful genetic or taxonomic distinction to be drawn between the whales located in the Pacific Northwest and killer whales anywhere else in the world. And for that reason, the so-called unnamed subspecies is bogus, and therefore the listing of the killer whale is bogus as well. Going forward, the government has 90 days to respond to our petition. If the government doesn't respond within 90 days, we have a right to bring a lawsuit. If the government does respond in 90 days and says that the petition has substantial information, then the government gets another year to make a final decision. And once that final decision comes, if it is against us, if it continues to maintain this listing which is both illegal and unscientific, we intend to bring a lawsuit to challenge that in federal court. Unfortunately, the petition has garnered some negative press from various environmental groups who think that basically we just want to get rid of the killer whale. Nothing could be farther from the truth. In fact, we believe that this petition is consistent with sound science and with sound conservation of endangered species. It doesn't make any sense to focus attention on small, marginal populations of species that otherwise are doing well. Rather, it makes sense that we should focus our time and effort and money to conserve those species and subspecies that really are in danger of extinction and merit our protection. That's not the case, though, with the killer whale. Moreover, I don't believe anybody, whether on the left or the right, should be in favor of the government making decisions that are based on faulty or junk science. And yet that is exactly what we have here with the killer whales listing. We have the government saying that we're going to list this population of whale by making up a subspecies classification that has never been recognized before. That's bogus, and that's what our petition attacks. Anyone who's interested in learning more about the basis of our petition, to go to our website, pacificlegal.org, where you can find background on the case, on our clients, but also find the petition itself and our arguments we're making against this listing.